Chosen one, have you ever wondered why the hardest times come when you least expect them? What if I told you that it's not a coincidence but actually a very important part of your life? These challenges don't appear randomly. They are a test of your perseverance and faith. If you react incorrectly, they may keep happening, trapping you in a cycle of struggles. Many times, we assume that the devil is behind our hardships. But in reality, they could be part of God's plan. He tests our faith to prove its authenticity and to strengthen us. When we face challenges, it is God's way of seeing the true depth of our faith. These trials are not meant to harm us but to help us grow, strengthen our beliefs, and understand ourselves better. Our reactions to these tests reveal our sincerity and devotion to our faith. They also give us the opportunity to reflect on our actions and beliefs. Difficult times can become stepping stones for personal growth and a deeper understanding of our spiritual journey. God uses these situations to shape us, making us more resilient and steadfast in our faith. To overcome these trials, there are crucial steps you must take. Keep watching until the end to discover how to navigate them effectively. Are you ready to receive the message meant just for you? Isolation may not be merely a coincidence. Periods of isolation can be challenging, but they also provide opportunities for deep reflection and growth. When we find ourselves alone, it can be a time to strengthen our relationship with God without the distractions of daily life. The worries, responsibilities, and fast-paced nature of life often pull us away from our spiritual journey. However, in the silence of solitude, we can focus more on our faith. Being alone allows us to spend more time in prayer, contemplating God's teachings, and gaining a deeper understanding of His will for us. Seeing isolation as an opportunity to grow closer to God is essential during these times. We can read Scripture, meditate on His messages, and listen for His guidance. This is a period for seeking clarity and direction in our lives. By embracing these moments, we can develop a closer, more personal connection with God. Solitude is not about loneliness, it is about finding peace and comfort in His presence. Viewing isolation as a divine test of patience, faith, and trust in God's plan helps us understand its true purpose. When we are alone, it is easy to feel abandoned or forgotten. But this is when our faith is truly tested. Can we remain patient, trusting that God has a plan for us, even when we cannot see it? Can we keep our faith strong even when nothing seems to be happening? Isolation is a test of patience as we wait for God's timing without losing hope. We must trust that He knows what is best for us, even when we do not understand. It is also a test of faith, requiring us to believe in His promises despite the lack of immediate results. Above all, it is a test of surrender, placing our complete trust in God and relying on His guidance during our loneliest times. By enduring these trials, we grow stronger in faith and closer to God. Experiencing hatred from others is a significant and rare test of faith and character. When we encounter hostility or mistreatment, it can be deeply unsettling and difficult to handle. However, how we respond to such negativity is a powerful testament to our commitment to God's teachings. Facing hatred challenges us to rise above negative emotions and act according to God's principles. When others treat us with contempt or hostility, it is an opportunity to demonstrate the love and compassion that Jesus taught. This is not easy, but it is a crucial part of living a faith-driven life. Responding to hatred with love means choosing kindness over retaliation. Instead of reacting with anger or bitterness, we can show empathy and understanding. This approach not only diffuses tension but also reflects God's love to others. It shows that we are guided by higher principles and are committed to living out our faith in all situations. Forgiveness is perhaps the most difficult response to hatred. It requires us to let go of resentment even when we have been wronged. Forgiveness is a core principle of Christianity, reflecting the grace God extends to us. By forgiving those who hurt us, we free ourselves from the burden of anger and bitterness, allowing us to move forward in peace. Those who spread hatred will eventually face divine justice. Trusting that God sees and judges all actions helps us maintain our integrity while focusing on responding with love and forgiveness. We can rest assured that God's justice will prevail in the end. This belief allows us to release the need for personal vengeance and leave judgment in God's hands. Self-control is a vital aspect of our faith journey, reflecting our ability to resist temptations and stay true to God's teachings. It is about maintaining discipline in our actions, thoughts, and behaviors, ensuring that they align with our spiritual values. Exercising self-control means not giving in to temptations and upholding the promises we make to God. Demonstrating our commitment to a righteous path. One of the greatest challenges of self-control is resisting our fleshly desires, which come in many forms, whether the urge to indulge in harmful behaviors or to succumb to negative emotions. Self-control requires us to recognize these temptations and make a conscious effort to avoid them. This process strengthens our faith, as each victory over temptation reinforces our dedication to God's principles. Keeping the faith means adhering to the moral and ethical guidelines set by our beliefs. It means choosing honesty over deceit, kindness over cruelty, and humility over pride. Every decision we make, big or small, can be a test of our self-control. By consistently making choices that reflect our faith, we demonstrate our commitment to living according to God's will. Self-control also involves keeping the promises we make to God, whether it is a vow to live a more virtuous life, a commitment to help others, or a resolution to deepen our spiritual practices. Fulfilling these promises requires discipline and perseverance, especially when faced with distractions or challenges. By staying strong in faith, resisting temptation, and trusting in God's plan, we continue to grow spiritually and walk the righteous path He has set before us. Honoring our commitments is a way to show our respect for God and our dedication to spiritual growth. Self-control is not about perfection but about progress. Everyone faces moments of weakness and may sometimes fall short. But each time we practice self-control, we strengthen our spiritual resilience. When we stumble, seeking forgiveness and striving to do better is part of our faith journey. This approach helps us develop a steadfast faith that can withstand various challenges. Unexpected conflicts can be difficult, but they serve as tests of our faith and forms of spiritual warfare. These conflicts arise suddenly, bringing stress and uncertainty. However, they also present opportunities to demonstrate patience, prayerfulness, and understanding. When facing conflict, it is crucial to respond with grace and faith, showing our commitment to God's teachings. Within our households, disagreements and arguments can quickly escalate if we react impulsively. Choosing patience helps prevent anger from taking control. Through prayer, we seek God's guidance and strength to handle conflicts wisely. Understanding allows us to see the other person's perspective and find common ground. These responses reflect our dedication to living out our faith, even in difficult moments. Remaining steadfast in prayer means continually seeking God's help and direction. When conflicts arise, we may feel overwhelmed or powerless, but through prayer, we invite God into our struggles, asking for His intervention and support. This not only helps us navigate the challenges but also strengthens our trust in God's power and love. Prayer becomes our armor, shielding us from negative influences and keeping our faith strong. Financial challenges are a common part of life and can also serve as a test of faith. Differentiating between responsible financial behavior and reckless decisions is essential to navigating these difficulties wisely. We must budget, save, and spend within our means. avoiding unnecessary debt and financial strain. God's provision for those who manage their finances responsibly is a fundamental belief in our faith journey. When we handle money wisely, we show that we are faithful stewards of the resources God has entrusted to us. This includes living within our means, avoiding unnecessary debt, and planning for the future. By doing so, we demonstrate our trust in God's provision and our commitment to using His blessings wisely. Trusting in God's provision while avoiding financial irresponsibility requires a delicate balance. It means having faith that God will provide for our needs while also taking practical steps to manage our resources effectively. This involves avoiding impulsive purchases and focusing on long-term financial stability. Trusting in God's provision does not mean neglecting our responsibilities. Rather, it means making wise decisions and believing that He will bless our efforts. It is essential to distinguish between financial difficulties that arise from unavoidable circumstances and those caused by poor financial management. Life can present us with unexpected financial burdens, such as accidents, illnesses, or job loss. In these situations, our faith is tested as we learn to rely on God's provision while also making wise decisions to navigate the crisis. On the other hand, financial struggles caused by irresponsible spending or lack of discipline remind us of the importance of better stewardship. Instead of allowing these challenges to discourage us, we should see them as opportunities to grow in wisdom and responsibility. Learning to manage the resources God has entrusted to us more effectively. The temptation to quit is a challenge many of us face in our faith journey. Sometimes, obeying God's calling conflicts with our personal desires. But true fulfillment is found in obedience. This requires us to prioritize God's will over our own, trusting that His plans are always for our ultimate good. Understanding that life's challenges are not failures but opportunities for growth is key to overcoming the temptation to give up. Every obstacle we conquer strengthens our faith and resilience, preparing us for the journey ahead. By reframing difficulties as opportunities to develop, we can find the motivation to push forward, turning negative energy into positive action and determination. Instead of dwelling on frustration or discouragement, we can channel our energy into productive pursuits. This might involve seeking support from our faith community, spending time in prayer and reflection, or finding ways to serve others. By focusing on positive actions, we shift our perspective from despair to hope and perseverance. Thank you for taking the time to watch this content. If you found it helpful and want to stay connected, please consider clicking the subscribe button so you won't miss future insights. Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more inspiring content.